I'm here in the heart of Sliabh Luachra, where P J Teahan has organised yet another of his handed-down music sessions, a fundraiser for World Fiddle Day, which happens later in the year in May, and we're all looking forward to tonight's session.
We're here today in Lyons' pub in Scartaglin, a location that's very much connected with the music of the locality. The great fiddle master of the area, Pádraig O'Keefe, the Sliabh Luachra fiddle master, considered this pub as his office, so to speak, and spent many nights and days here where he received the hospitality of Jack Lyons and indeed the family. There were great sessions here in Pádraig's time. Pádraig and some of his pupils like Paddy Cronin, Denis Murphy, Julie Clifford, all those came to this place to meet Pádraig and to play with Pádraig. In more recent times, the pub here, Lyons' pub, has been used as the venue where the recreation of the Star Above the Garter recording took place on World Fiddle Day in May. In this very room last May, we played all the tracks of that great recording, the Star Above the Garter, which was made by Denis Murphy and Julia Clifford. We played all the tracks here in the same sequence and tried to recreate the memory of those wonderful hours of music long ago in this location.
Right, I'm here now with Matt Cranitch, who's a fiddle player. And Matt, tell us a little bit about why you're involved with this fabulous event.
Yeah, this Handed Down is part of the Handed Down series, the brainchild of P J Teahan and a few others. It's been going on every month for the past 18 months or so. And the idea is to honour the traditions of the locality, the musicians of the locality. Tonight is a continuation of that, but it's the first time that we have as our guest person somebody who is a present-day musician, so to speak, the man from Kentucky, Jackie Daly.
Fantastic, okay. Now, and your own involvement personally, like would you be involved in the organisation or are you just here to play and enjoy it?
I'm not involved in the organisation. I'm here to present tonight, so to speak. We'll be showing archive footage and archive photographs of our subject, namely Jackie, and I'll be talking to Jackie and kind of conducting a public interview with him, playing the fiddle along with him and various other people as well.
There's obviously a deep-rooted history of music around here in Scartaglin.
Well, there is, of course, I suppose the most famous of them all was the great Pádraig O'Keefe, Sliabh Luachra fiddle master, born in 1887, died in 1963, and he taught music in the locality for 40 years or more. And among his roster of pupils were many of the people that we've been honouring over the past 18 months, including the big names like Denis Murphy, Julia Clifford and Paddy Cronin and Johnny O'Leary, all those, but a lot of other people as well who may not be as well known in that sense. So he contributed greatly to the music of the locality, as did many other people who've been honoured and whose music has been looked at over the past 18 months in this series.
I'll give you 2 clocks if you want.
Yeah, perfect, yeah.
joined now with Jackie Daly, the accordion player, who is the guest tonight. Tell us a little bit about why you got involved, Jackie.
Well, I was the musician they picked. I've been playing since I was a kid, and I learned from a pupil of great Padraig O'Keefe's, Jim Keefe. And I was lucky because I come from Canturk, and when I was young there was a platform at a crossroads for dancing at a place called Knocknacolan. And I used to go there and listen, and Jim Keefe eventually said to me, "How come you don't dance?" I said, "I'm learning an instrument." And he said, "Bring it up and play a tune for us next Sunday." So I did, and they gave me a job playing at the platform when I was only about 10 years old. So I have a long history of playing music. As Padraig O'Keefe said about a pupil that was very good, he said, "Haven't he an awful life in front of him?" And I had.
Now tell me, the music industry has changed an awful lot in the trad scene. Is it dying out, or is it getting more popular? How is it these days, in your opinion?
It depends on where you're going. It's probably getting more popular. In fact, it's probably more popular now than it was way back in the 70s. It took a surge and went up, and it hasn't really fallen back since then. It was before that it started to slump a bit. But it never slumped in Slieve Lucre. It was a bit like the land here. The land was bad, so the English didn't take it, so they retained the poetry and music as well, and I think it was the same with our culture.
Fantastic. So that's what you think kept it alive here in Slieve Lucre. And
as Joe Cooley said about Galway music, Asher, isn't it the only music that brings people to their senses?
Tell me, listen, about tonight. I mean, what are you looking forward to the most, I suppose, about this evening?
Having a pint afterwards.
Well, there you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Thank you, Jackie. It's a pleasure to talk to you. So I'm here now with P J Teahan and Paddy O'Connor. PJ is the organiser, and Paddy, you used to present going back a few years, is that right?
Yeah, I've just been giving PJ and the committee a bit of a hand there. I gave a talk this year about, I suppose, RT's influence on Slieve Lucre music. They started coming here in the late 1940s, and I suppose they've recorded a lot of famous musicians around here, and because of all those recordings, people of my generation have been able to learn from people that are long gone around the place. So I gave one little talk about that, and last year I gave a talk about some local musicians from the parishes of Scartaglin and Cordal as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. And of course, one of those musicians long gone would be Padraig O'Keefe. Tell us about him if people at home don't know who he is.
Well, that's Padraig O'Keefe. He was a famous fiddle player and teacher, and he made his living from going around the roads of Slieve Lucre, teaching music to young fiddle players and people of all ages. And I suppose the style of fiddle playing, he was such an iconic figure that everybody around the area played his particular style. So that's why I suppose the style of music that we call Slieve Lucre, as many people would say, it's associated with Padraig, and I suppose people were so taken with his way of playing that generations, even up to the present day, still try and emulate what he did. So he's a central figure really to the whole thing.
You might tell us a little bit, PJ, about the whole thing, World Fiddle Day, and how it came about in the beginning.
Well, one of the men you recorded playing there, Mick Culloty, a good friend of mine, we were coming home from Ballyvourney one morning around 5 o'clock, I'd say, and we were passing Mikey Duggan's house. Mikey Duggan was a very popular musician in Scartaglin, who was a pupil of Padraig O'Keefe's. And we were just talking about all the fiddles that were now silent because all the old fiddle players were dead. So we decided to commemorate them, and our first project was we collected a photo of every fiddle player in the Castle Island area, and we produced a poster to that effect. And that was a great success, and we heard about World Fiddle Day, which was celebrated worldwide, started by a man in Donegal. So we said that would be a great date to launch our poster, and we're going strong since then, getting bigger every year. Tonight then is different. Tonight is called Handed Down, which we use as a fundraiser for World Fiddle Day. And we invite people with knowledge, great music. Most of the presenters are great musicians. All of them are great musicians, but all of them have a great sense of history and a sense of tradition. And we introduce young musicians from the area first. Then we'd have more seasoned campaigners. Then we'd have our presenter, and he'd give a lecture and he'd play. But it's of great benefit for the young musicians to hear the story of what came before them. So we're hoping that they'll be influenced, and in years to come, they'll pass it on. But we're very fortunate with the willingness of people like Paddy and Matt Cranitch and Jackie Daly that give their time for little or nothing for the cause. And it's going from strength to strength, as you can see tonight.